Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tariq Ahmed, and thank you so much for coming to the Substack, taraqa.substack.com, taraqa. That's how you pronounce it. And if you will visit the Substack, you'll be able to subscribe for future videos like this one and for future posts. And I'd like to tell you a quick prayer to start. It is a prayer the Arabs used to make even before Islam. And it is, "Oh Allah, protect us from every tariq." You see how important it is, right? "Oh Allah, protect us from every tariq except the one who brings good." And in starting this Substack and in all of the content that I hope to bring to you, I ask Allah to let me be a tariq who brings good and to put good in this for anyone who is consuming the content. So thank you so much. And I'd like to explain a little bit why this Substack was created. It has everything to do with this particular series of videos. It starts with, uh, well, what's the best way to start it? Let's take a look at something. This is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, and the hadith are, if you're not familiar with that, the sayings of the Prophet ﷺ, the recorded things that he talked about with people or that they recorded from his actions. And so from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, we have this statement that Aisha, one of his wives, narrates, that kindness is not to be found in anything but that it adds to its beauty, and it is not withdrawn from anything but it makes it defective. And it's a lovely hadith. And the reason that it's so important and the reason that it has a role to play in this entire series is that from time to time, I have expressed my opinions in social media. Years ago, I was expressing my opinions on social media during the very sad time of the US drone strikes on Muslim countries where innocent people were being killed day after day. And we didn't see much of it in the news media in the United States, but it was very, very constant and it was so upsetting. And there were many things to be upset about. If you watch the news today or any day, you can easily find something that upsets you or that frustrates you. And that was me. I was writing on social media. I was voicing my frustrations. I was saying things that were truthful, but in the harshest possible way. So think about what the Prophet ﷺ said. If kindness is withdrawn from something, it can become defective. And just that, just the removal of kindness. So there was no kindness in my social media posts. And someone very close to me, my father, those posts were brought to his attention by people he knows or knew, rather. Rahimahullah, he's passed away. And he came to me years ago and said, "Tariq, I want you to stop writing those posts." And because I was writing from a place of upset already, I was upset with him for asking me to take those posts and not do them anymore. And I did obey him. I did stop writing those posts, but I just left social media altogether. And I said to myself that I don't need to do, if I can't express myself, then I don't need to be on social media. And there are many good things that I can say about not being on social media. There's just a lot of good to be said there. But a few years ago, I rejoined social media, and I was not writing any of the posts that had upset my father before. I was not talking about current events or anything like that until October 7th. And when October 7th happened, the tragedy of that day, the tragedy of every day since then, that was something I could not be silent about. And I wrote the most calm, the most considerate posts about that I could think to write. And yet, one day, not too long ago, just very recently, actually, maybe a little more than a month, perhaps, um, I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted because of work. Because I think that month I'd billed 220 hours at work, or somewhere between 220 and 260. Because one month I had 260, one month I had 220. Um, so I was exhausted, and I was just as frustrated as I could be about what I was seeing in the news from Palestine, but also what I was hearing from political commentators in the US about the 2024 election. We're still hearing about it in 2025. And what we're hearing from people I disagreed with very much. So that moment when I was tired and frustrated and angry about what I was reading, and for even from commentators that I respect, I wrote something, and that post was brought to my attention later. And when I looked at it again, when I wasn't tired, when I was able to really appreciate what I had written, I realized that it was just as unkind. It was just it was me venting. That's all it was. There wasn't any good that that post would do. And I did take that post down, but at the same time, I decided, you know, that I should share what I feel in a way that is good. And that was when I created the Substack space, and when I decided what the name of the Substack should be. And again, invoking that prayer when I decided that the content should all be what does good. And my father, as I said, passed away. I hope that before, when I meet him, inshallah, in the hereafter, that he is not displeased. And I hope that he understands my need to share content, but I also hope that he understands that, at least for myself, I appreciate that he didn't want me to express myself harshly. As the Prophet ﷺ said again, and let's just take another look at this really great hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Kindness is not to be found in anything, but that it adds to its beauty. So the kindness that I hope is present in the way that I try to explain my position in this series of posts, I hope that that kindness will beautify these posts for you, that it will, at least, even if it doesn't convince you to agree with me, that it will make it possible for you to hear what is being said. And if I were to rant and rave, then that would be the removal of kindness. And I believe that that would make it less beneficial. So I'm grateful to my father, and I hope that, inshallah, when I meet him, that he'll know it. He'll know that. And I am very, very happy to share the upcoming posts with you. They're going to be, there's already more than one series. The other series is in post production, and the different episodes take a little bit longer to make because there's not just myself speaking like this. But I'm very much looking forward to sharing them with you, and I hope that you will join me. Again, please visit the Substack, taraqa.substack.com, and please let me know what you think. Have a great day.